Hi there, my name is Stephen Hewer with Synergistic Nutrition. I've been in private nutritional consultative practice for 22 years. And in that time, one of the subjects that's been brought to my attention is the subject of your skin health. So many of us are born with the ability to tan and not burn so bad. And many of us are born with fair skin with the tendency to burn very readily as a result of our exposure to the sun. And being that it's summer and it's very hot and very sunny in many parts of the country right now, we'll be focusing this newsletter on the subject of how to protect yourself internally from the possibility of sunburns and not have to use the smelly, oily, unpleasant, and toxic, and yes, carcinogenic skin protection products on the market. Also, how to tan more readily will be part of the topic of this newsletter, and also how to deal with skin abnormalities. Many people today are suffering from skin abnormalities, and they're diagnosed by different names. Most people are familiar with the term of a skin cancer, but skin abnormality is the term that I'll be using. And personally, I found a herbal paste that works extremely well when applied topically to a skin abnormality to cause it to come off. And I'd like to introduce this to everyone in the body of this newsletter. So if you're seeing this on YouTube and you have yet to actually receive our newsletters, I recommend you go to our website, sgn80.com, sgn80.com, and that's the number 8. And you can find our website and you can sign up to receive our newsletters. And you can also then have access to the archived newsletters. There's quite a few highly informative, highly educational, health-giving newsletters you can access. This one, though, is going to be on the topic of skin health and how you can protect yourself and avail yourself of some powerful natural tools in the healing arts realm. And the first subject we'll be talking about is a little-known product called PDQ Skin Cream. PDQ Skin Cream is a combination of herbs put into a special paste-like substance. And when you apply this stuff to a skin abnormality, it actually helps the tissue die very quickly within a couple of days, and it actually becomes a little bit burning, a little bit itchy in the area where the abnormality exists. And then within a few days after that, the thing falls off and you've got, all the normal skin that should be there. It's a very wonderful product. It's worked for 15,000 people reportedly. It's been on the market for several years, but still not very well known. And it's my favorite when it comes to any skin abnormality. Apply this, and if it is a true abnormality, there'll be an itching, irritating, a little bit of a burning sensation or a prickling sensation as the area dies, and then as over the course of a couple of days of application can then die completely, and then it will fall off a few days later, and nice healthy skin there left afterwards. If it is not an abnormality, then you will end up having no reaction. There'll be no irritation, burning, redness, or sensation at all. And you'll know that it's normal, healthy tissue, whatever it is. So the product itself looks like that. It's a tiny little bottle. This will give you many, many applications and work for a long time. That's a 4-year shelf life. And you can find out all the details of that in the body of the newsletter. The other one is the subject of how to protect yourself from burning in the sun. So any fair-skinned person has this concern. And in our culture, we've been taught to believe that you need various ointments that block the sun rays from penetrating your skin, whether it be PABA in the past or whether it be zinc oxide now. There's various substances that are promoted. I don't like any of those substances, especially the PABA ones and the cosmetic products that have parabens in them and things where we know that these are toxic to the skin and we would be best to avoid them. So I've come across the product that many people have heard about now, but maybe new to you. It's called Astaxanthin. This is a nice carotenoid pigment naturally found in the flesh of salmon, in the flamingo feathers that make the flamingos pink. It's also what occurs naturally in the krill shrimp, and it's also what naturally comes from the algae. There's a certain kind of algae that produces it, and that's how the shrimp that eat the algae get their pigment colors, and that's how the salmon that have a pink colored skin get their colors from eating this algae. So it's now been cultivated in the Hawaiian oceans, Hawaiian waters, very pristine conditions, this algae, and then this astaxanthin is extracted out of this algae. and it's a very powerful carotenoid that when you can consume it, goes into the body and actually permeates all your tissues, including your brain, and actually protects all your tissues from free radical damage. So when it's in your skin in high enough amounts, you actually can be protected from burning. And in a moment, I'm going to share with you one lady that works here who experienced this recently when she was on the beaches of South Carolina in Charleston, where normally she would burn very badly for being in the sun as long as she was. And instead, she was protected because she took high amounts of the Astaxanthin during the day that she was in the sun. So she really has a really positive and fun story to share. So if you would like some excellent protection from sunburning that doesn't require lathering on to the skin any toxic oils, I highly recommend you give Astaxanthin a try. And our product that we're carrying is this one right here from Pure Encapsulation. Excellent, excellent pure product. They call their company Pure Encapsulation because the excipients, and they don't use any bad excipients, binders, or fillers. It's a clean product down to the other ingredients. And this product will give you that excellent pigment. Its antioxidant powers exceed that of lutein and that of beta-carotene and that of vitamin E and also vitamin C. This is a very powerful antioxidant and very powerful way to protect yourself from free radical damage and potentially from the burning effects the sun can have on fair-skinned people. And lastly, I want to introduce you to a great oil that is both excellent nutritionally to consume, and another way is using it as topically. And that oil is coconut oil or coconut fat. However, not all coconut fats and coconut oils are created equal. There's a proper process to extracting them to preserve all of the nutrients naturally present in the coconut fat, the antioxidant properties that are in there, the vitamin E, and the full nutritional value that it can give your body versus the chemical heat processing, bleaching, and other unhealthy things that are done to make coconut oil a marketable product. You can read about those details in the body of the newsletter, but suffice it to say, we carry a centrifuge extracted, cold processed, cold extracted coconut oil product that we love. It's excellent, excellent product that we carry from Wilderness Family Naturals, and outstanding. I consume 2 tablespoons of this a day, typically with my whey protein powder shakes. If you want your whey protein powder shake, we have if you've never heard of our product called One World Whey, check it out on sgn80.com. One World Whey is the most profound whey protein powder currently in the world. I mean, it's so phenomenally good for your body, but it's just so exceptionally delicious that you'll just be truly impressed. And to my whey protein drink, I add 1 tablespoon of this coconut fat, and it's just phenomenal. I mean, the deliciousness that adds to it is really noticeable. But also the benefit is that if you're not using already like a raw milk like I have access to, and that has the fats in it, then the whey protein itself doesn't have fat in any significant quantity. So you end up with something that doesn't stay in your body as a food source for very long. The body does need fat in conjunction with protein to get a good use of the protein and amino acids itself and have a fuel source from the fatty acids. What's neat about coconut fat is that it's a type of fat that doesn't go into storage in your body. It can only be used as a fuel. That's because the fat chains are what's called short and medium chain triglycerides, which the body can only use for creating energy. The body breaks them down into ketones, and the body can use ketones in the cells to make energy. It's interesting also that 97% or so of the cell's energy requirements in a resting state, non-aerobic activity, which is what most people live day to day. Most of your life is spent in a non-aerobic state. That is to say, you're not getting your heart rate up to high levels and burning sugar directly in your cells as energy. You're burning fat. The majority of energy of the human cell is actually fat, 97%. And you only need a small amount of sugars, either from fruits, dried fruits, and complex carbohydrates. So you can meet those caloric energy requirements of your cell more efficiently with coconut fat than perhaps any other fat there is. So you end up with a way to stabilize your energy and prolong your productivity every day and keep your system stable, because if you eat a simple sugar for energy or for raising your glucose levels, the problem with that is that you will raise your insulin and you will have tendency to excess sugar in the system that can't be used all at once. And when your body can't use sugar in a short window of time, the excess is converted into fat that stores in your body. So this is one way to avoid gaining excess body fat, maintaining a trim frame, is to use coconut fat in your diet daily to get your fatty acid needs in your body met without running the risk of creating body fat in excess amounts on your system. And it also helps you to curb and eliminate the craving for excess quantities of carbohydrates or sugars. So this has got a great food component to your diet. I recommend never cooking any fat or oil. I recommend not cooking with this, even though people do, and it is recommended that way. If you want to do that, it's up to you, but knowing what I know, I recommend not. And then this is also an excellent topical oil. Putting coconut fat on the skin feels great. It absorbs well. You don't remain greasy and oily. It goes in pretty good, but it also remains as a barrier so that when you're in the sun, it actually protects you from the burning of the sun, and it actually focuses and helps you to tan. So you get the multiplied effect of wanting to tan, which is the desirable feature most people want, but without the burning, or without as much burning, just from the effect of the fat on your skin. So this is, you could say, the original copper tone. This is excellent, excellent food. It's an excellent, excellent skin oil, and you can get it from us here at Synergistic Nutrition at sgn80.com, or you can call us at 888-988-3325. I'm now going to take a moment to share with you the case history of a lady that works for us here named Brenna, and how well the astaxanthin worked for her in helping to prevent sunburn when she was in the sun all day long. Okay, I'm behind the camera and you can hear my voice, everyone. My name is Steven, and I'm here to introduce you to Brenna, who works for me here at Synergistic Nutrition. She had a recent experience with astaxanthin, and I'm just going to let her share her experience. Go ahead, Brenna.
So I had this really awesome, cool experience with astaxanthin. It was probably 2 months ago. I had went down to Charleston, was visiting, and we had gotten onto the beach. I realized I had forgotten my sunscreen, which is never a good thing for me because I'm extremely fair-skinned, and that's a no-go, basically, for me, because I usually get very burnt. And actually, prior to going to Charleston, I had gotten burnt before, and I was told about the astaxanthin and how it helps with sunburns and such. So I had that on me while I was in Charleston, so I decided to take that. And just to be really sure that it would work, I took 5, and then I took 2 every hour after that. What had happened from there, and I had been on the beach all day.
How hot was the beach?
It was pretty hot.
90s, 100s?
Yeah, probably close to hundreds.
Okay.
Yeah, very humid, very sunny. And yeah, so after taking that every 2 hours, or 2 every 1 hour, I had showed up with a little bit of a red color on my skin, but it wasn't hurting at all like it usually does. And by the next day, I had a complete tan. It evolved into anything that was red was a tan, which was amazing because I don't get tan. So, and I continue to take it as a protocol daily, because more than that, it just makes me feel good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm behind the camera and you can hear my voice, everyone. My name is Steven, and I'm here to introduce you to Brenna, who works for me here at Synergistic Nutrition. She had a recent experience with astaxanthin, and I'm just going to let her share her experience. Go ahead, Brenna.
So I had this really awesome, cool experience with astaxanthin. It was probably 2 months ago. I had went down to Charleston, was visiting, and we had gotten onto the beach. I realized I had forgotten my sunscreen, which is never a good thing for me because I'm extremely fair-skinned, and that's a no-go, basically, for me because I usually get very burnt. And actually, prior to going to Charleston, I had gotten burnt before, and I was told about the astaxanthin and how it helps with sunburns and such. So I had that on me while I was in Charleston, so I decided to take that. And just to be really sure that it would work, I took 5. And then I took 2 every hour after that. What had happened from there, and I had been on the beach all day.
How hot was the beach?
It was pretty hot.
90s, 100s?
Yeah, probably close to hundreds.
Okay.
Yeah, very humid, very sunny. And yeah, so after taking that every 2 hours, or 2 every 1 hour, I had showed up with a little bit of a red color on my skin, but it wasn't hurting at all like it usually does. And by the next day, I had a complete tan. It evolved into anything that was red was a tan, which was amazing because I don't get tan. So, and I continue to take it as a protocol daily because more than that, it just makes me feel good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.